Hello, welcome to Miemie's Keepsakes. I'm Arnell. Thank you for joining me on another Mass Make Monday or just another Mass Make session. Today I want to make some flowers that I saw on Ruby and Pearl last year before Christmas. She made these beautiful wax paper flowers. Unfortunately, that's the one thing I don't have. But I have other things, and I do want to make it a little different. I really liked her flowers, but I thought it might be a little bulky for putting inside your journals or as decorations on tags and envelopes and pages. So we're going to make it a little bit different, but I will add her video so you can see what she did. Her flowers were beautiful. So I have parchment paper. I have this parchment paper that I use to put on my countertops when I'm dyeing paper. And I just added some gesso and acrylic paint. I have the tissue paper from a sewing pattern. I have the instruction paper, some coffee dyed papers or copy paper, and just an old book page, and then different colors of tissue paper that you would use to put in gift bags, and just some brown packing paper. And then I also have used these are those drying sheets that you put in the dryer, and some dried up baby wipes that I use to wipe up my table, and different colors of toile, see-through fabric and netting, and a wide lace. It has to be wide enough because we need to cut circles. And then just some things to decorate with. You'll need some brads. And I have like these small little flowers for the centers of my flower. So let's start. I'm gonna use, I would say try to find a template. So I'm just gonna use a Fabri-Tac bottle, or if you have a punch that can cut out the right size circle. I didn't have the right size, so I think let's use this size. I'm just going to use these two, and we don't want to cut perfect circles. You'll see you can even tear them, but I just want an idea of how big my circles are. She made bigger circles, I think, because she was using them to decorate gifts, gift wrapping with them. I want to use these inside my journal, so I obviously do not want them too big. So I'm just cutting a template, and just, it's not going to be perfect circles. A template from an old file folder, and and this is what she did too, just going to kind of fold my parchment paper, because you need layers. So I think this should be enough. Let's see. And then I'm just going to cut out my circle. And I'm not even, you can even tear these, but because I'm doing a mass make, I'm not too precise, because you'll see, don't worry about it being too precise. So, and she did 15 layers on her flowers, and like I say, it was absolutely gorgeous. But I think for what I want to use my flowers, I'm going to make less layers, because I just think 15 might be a bit much. Okay, so, and then let's make some of this. So and these will be wrinkled up to add some texture eventually, and that's why it's not a big thing if your circles are not perfect. Okay. Maybe I'll do a couple of this smaller circle as well. Okay, one more. I have to concentrate to cut a circle. Can't talk and cut. Just one of those things. Okay. So we'll just continue cutting some circles, and I'm just using the pattern paper, folding it over, so I'm cutting more than one circle at a time, because we do want a couple of layers. And it's almost easier to just cut a little square and then go from there. And you'll see it's just a rough circle that I'm cutting. Okay, and I want to cut some of the toile as well. And this is a little bit more tricky to kind of layer up. So I'm going to trying to cut more than one at a time. Let's see if I can manage that, because it is flimsy fabric. So because I want to use this in my journal, I'm using like thin see-through fabrics, lace, toile, like a silk would probably work too if you have some. Okay, so what you'll need is tissue paper, wax paper, parchment paper, some thin fabric, toile, a template for your circle, and I cheated a little bit because I thought you do not want to sit here and watch me cut 100 little circles, so I did that beforehand. So you will need quite a bit of circles, different colors. They can be even different sizes. I did mine mostly in the same size, and as you can see, not because I cut more than one layer, they're not perfect, so I can just trim them off as I go. And then you'll also need an awl and some brads. If you have decorative brads or buttons, anything that you can decorate the center of your flower. So I'll make one, and then we'll start kind of the mass making process. So these are some of the parchment paper. Let's add, this is the pattern paper from the sewing pattern. We'll just keep adding. Let me see how many layers do I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 layers. And then let's add, I have some lace in here. And let's find a brad. Let's do this bigger brad. It's a pretty brad. So then you just, she did 15 layers, but I think that's a bit much for my journal. So you just poke a hole with the awl, take your brad, open it up, and then you're just going to go ahead and wrinkle your flower to give it some texture. And then of course once you put it in the book it's going to flatten a little bit, but so that's your flower. And like I say, you can do different sizes of, I'm gonna cut this one a little bit smaller just because I want that tissue paper from the sewing pattern to show through. And as you can see, I'm just not even cutting a perfect circle. Okay, and there's your little flower. And this can go, if you put this, say for instance, on a tag or a envelope, and I'm wondering if I should cut this one a little smaller too. I'm gonna do the lace smaller too. So if you're going to add this to a tag or a journaling card, obviously you can just poke a hole through the base of your tag or journaling card and just close these up again, poke them through your tag, and then it's fastened to your tag as well. This would be cute on the bottom of a page as a decoration as well. So see, it kind of gives you that layered effect. And when it's in your book, it will flatten a little bit, but not as much. And that's why I'm not doing the 15 layers. But do go watch our video. Those layers are absolutely gorgeous together. So now we're gonna do, I want to make quite a bit of these. So I'm just gonna start. Let's make more room. Too many circles. So I'm just going to, let's do 6 at a time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do 9. There's room for 9. Yeah, so I hope you can see the white. And maybe it is a good idea to do different sizes. But if you put them together, you can change, cut them smaller if you're not happy. Let's do a couple of the gold ones. Let's do gold on this side. And let's do pink in here. Let's do a white layer in between. And then pink again. Oops, that's okay. And then let's just add some pattern paper, and there's some of that parchment that I painted. And more. This is the see-through fabric that I got from an old wedding dress, the dried baby wipe. And let's see, there's a piece of toile, another piece of toile in there, and let's put some. Yeah, so now you're just kind of layering, and I am going to maybe add some flowers in the middle of these, just to do something different. Let's do the pink ones with some flowers as well, and then I can use small brads. Okay, let's do that. And I have these cute, really small white ones. Okay. And let me find some brads. Those might be too big. Oh, there's some pretty ones. Those have colors in them, I thought. Okay, let's pick. I have some pink brads over here. Let's do the pink brads in the middle of the pink flowers. And let's do white ones in here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that one's too big for the center of this teeny tiny white flower. And for those, let's do some, what are these? No, they're not brads. Let's find, I have these kind of rose gold color in here. Oh, that might be pretty. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take my flower, and I have 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll add more layers to this. I just feel like it can take a bit more. Let's do some parchment. And okay, as you can see, they're not even totally centered. They're not all the same size, but that's what I want because I want it to have some texture. I poke a hole. Be careful that you're not poking through your finger in the back. And so I'll do all the brads together because otherwise my flowers won't stick. So yeah, that is the whole mask making process for today. How was your weekend? Ours were a little bit disappointing. It was raining all weekend, so we didn't get to our pruning our roses, and so I don't know, it's really late this year. We've had usually we have rain in April, but this time the rain is a little later than normal. I feel, kind of feels like normally it's a little earlier. Anyway, so yeah, we didn't get to our roses this weekend. We didn't do much in the garden, and I'm starting to feel anxious because summer is fast approaching, and I like to get the garden cleaned before June, because by June it's nice and warm over here, and you know, we want to sit by the pool or go to the beach, the lake, and just enjoy summer. And you know, if I'm spending time in the garden, which I will, I want to just pull a couple of weeds here and there, pick roses and flowers, or you know, just attend to the little vegetable garden that we have. You don't want to spend cleaning the garden and doing lots of, you know, crazy work in the garden. It's kind of, I want the summer to be fun, and a lot of times it's really hot out here, so you don't really want to spend time in the garden necessarily in the summer months because it's so hot. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen this year, if we're gonna be still cleaning right through June if it keeps raining. Okay. I feel like I can add, I didn't want to add too much because I was scared it's going to be too bulky, but I feel like maybe I can add more layers in here because it's actually way less bulky than I thought it would be, just because, you know, the fabrics that you're using, let's just add that piece of tulle, it was stuck to my finger. The fabrics and the papers are really thin. Okay, and so the ones that Heather from Ruby and Pearl made were all white, and they were, like I say, absolutely gorgeous. I might make those, but I don't know how sturdy it would be for a cover, but it was just so pretty. It might be nice for a cover. Let's add more. And then this little, but it would look beautiful on, if you do like the 15 layers on a gift wrap with a nice satin bow, and those lots and lots of layers would be beautiful on gift wrap. Let's add more gold to this one. Oh, this circle, I don't think it's a circle at all. So let's just reshape this one a little bit. And I am trying to do like the toile and stuff, the fabric layers kind of on the top. You probably don't have to, but I feel then it would be easier to cut smaller if I want them smaller once I shaped my flower. Okay. Yeah, so this would be nice too with double-sided paper, but my printers still are not working. I'm still struggling to find somebody to fix it for me. I'm thinking I probably would have to wait for my son to come back home and fix it for me. It seems like it's more a problem with my computer than my printer. Anyway, so now we'll just shape these, wrinkle them up. And so like if you print on both sides, you know, with digital kits, or like double-sided scrapbook paper. Unfortunately, with the double-sided scrapbook paper that I had were very thick, it wouldn't have worked for this. So if you do have like copy paper thickness scrapbook paper, that would work too. Doilies, maybe if you have small doilies, or if you're making bigger flowers, doilies would be very cute. In here as well, just be careful not to tear the doily. You can also, for the centers, use buttons. I just used, you know, if you use a small brad and then glue the button on top, that's what Heather did. That would be cute too. I'm just trying to keep it as flat as possible. You can obviously just do these with just wool and netting. That would be beautiful. And if you do a lot of layers with that for your book cover, that would work. Okay, so now we're just going to take all of them kind of apart and shape them. I'm just going to cut this. This is way too big. And just, you know, okay. Just play around with them until you're happy. This I'm going to cut a little smaller too. That is the dried out baby wipe in the middle there. This one maybe cut a little smaller too. What else would be nice but a little bit more time consuming, and I have done that, is if you tear circles. That would be cute too. There. Or I'll show you in a minute. Just finish one thing. Yeah, so you'll just play around, and even once you glue them into your book, you can play around with them some more. Even I'm thinking just like tissue paper, just the pink flowers would be beautiful. You know, I like this one. I'm not even going to shape it lots. I just like it the way it is. This is the one with the gold tissue paper, and it kind of feels like the less you take them apart, the better they look. See, and then from the side you can see all the layers. Yeah, I would say definitely make 6 to 7 layers of circles. And I'm going to cut this one a little smaller. So, and what would be nice too is if you like this, I really like the way this is looking, the painted parchment paper on here just gives a little bit different texture. Okay, and then this one has some tulle on the bottom. I like that too. Maybe I'll cut this layer a little smaller. I only want some of this. That I think that was a circle that wasn't really a circle. But yeah, if you maybe have time in front of the TV at night and you just tear some circles in different sizes, that would be very cute too. With use the same fabrics, parchment paper, and you can probably tear more than one layer. I think I'm going to cut the pink a little bit smaller on this one, just so you can see the other layers. And here we are. This is the last flower, and I do like how that looks. Okay, so we've made 9 flowers. Oh no, 10, because I did the other one. And you can obviously make a lot more of them with different centers, maybe just pink ones. And do go watch Ruby and Pearl's video. I will link her video as well. And I want to show you these again that Camille gifted me, and she made layers of fabric and laces. That is kind of the same idea, but she made different sizes. So you can make them in fabrics and laces too. Just look how pretty these are. These she sewed the button to keep the different layers together, which is absolutely gorgeous, and it's not too thick. And you can even use the brad in the middle if you want. You think the button is too bulky for your journal. That's a different idea. Anyway, thank you for joining me today in this Mass Make Monday. I hope you'll try these out. If you do, go to my Facebook page and share some pictures, or maybe on Instagram, or just send me an email with the pictures of the flowers you made. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.